Is this, I need it, okay. Hey, this is not good lighting. Okay, that's better. This is a different video than I would normally make, but I was thinking, and I was like, I want to read something, and then the book that I want to read is like way out of my comfort zone, and you already saw the title, you already saw the thumbnail. It's My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I think it's supposed to be very literary, and like very like, I don't know how to explain it. So I'm going to be reading this because this is most out of my comfort zone. This is most out of my normal range. Like fantasy romance, it's still a romance. It's still something that I would probably pick up and read. This is not. This is not the first thing I think of when I think of books I want to read. This is like, I feel like something you would read for like a class assignment or something. But yeah, I'm going to be trying to read this because I feel like it's very mixed reviews. So basically, I'm gonna read this and get back to you. I'm deciding if I should like start tabbing it right away, or if I should just like read it, or if I should like plan out a tabbing system. I think I'll tab it. Hold on. My finger looks fucking weird. This is my like tabbing system so far. Okay, I am getting ready to go to school. I have 3 books with me. All of that I'm currently reading, and today my main focus is gonna be this book. Like I said, I didn't say this, I only got like 12 pages in, but it's good so far, and I'm gonna be focusing on this book all day at school, because that's what I do at school is I read. Yeah. I've been reading this like all day, and it's awesome, and I love it, and I don't know why people don't like it more, because I've been tagging it, and it's like a lot, but it's really sad, but it's like good, and I like it, and I hate the main character so much. She's a villain, and I hate her, and so I kind of hate her and her friend, and everybody in the book, but like in a way that's good. It makes sense. Give me chopstick. And it hasn't mentioned her name at all, which I didn't think it would.
So again, at this point, what you needed to do is you needed to grab a notebook.
Oh, wait.
Well, you need to grab your notebook. You needed to be learning target today. I forgot to add the second one. Oh my god. Science. You're so tall. Spider-Man. So,
Mister!
nope.
You're really tall.
My heart. Okay, I'm not done with the book. Okay, I started it. I have this much left. Okay, just that tiny bit. I am on page 168, and there are 288. I got like 100 pages left, alright? I'm conflicted. I'm very conflicted. I don't know how to feel. I like it, okay? I'm conflicted because I understand why people don't. She says a lot of very strange things in this book. Let me find one. Oh, okay, here's one. I dreamt that I lathered my mother's pubic hair with a bar of ivory soap in the shower, then pulled a tangle of hair out of her vagina. It was like the kind of fur ball a cat coughs up or clogs in a bathtub drain. In the dream, I understood that the tangle of hair was my father's cancer. I was conflicted reading that. It's fairly early on into the book too. There is no amount of context that I can give you that would make you understand it, because I read it and I still do not understand it. It's just, you know, I have nothing to, I like it though. Here's the thing, I like the book. I think it's funny because it's like, it's a dream that she had. That was a dream that she had, and it was like, we have weird fucking dreams sometimes. So it's like, I understand that part, but it's just like a weird thing. It's a weird thing to put in a book. So far, I do like it. I think it's funny, the out-of-pocket things that she thinks and says. At first, I thought, like, oh, like, a bunch of people will say that they don't like her as a character. They think she's a horrible person. And before I read it, I was like, well, if she's this mentally ill, maybe we should give her a break. Like, of course she's not going to be the most, you know, nicest person. She's depressed. And then I read it, and then I was like, no, mental illness excuse can only get you so far. This girl's a bitch. She shit on the floor. There's no amount of context I can provide for that either that would make it understandable. I don't know how to talk about it. Yeah, I'm liking this book a lot, and so I think I'm part of the 50% that does like the book, but I understand why people don't like the book. And it's interesting to see how our main character, who I don't know her name, I don't think they said her name. On the back of it says the story of a woman with no name, so I'm assuming they haven't said her name yet, or if they have, I just totally forgot. So me and my friends have been calling her Ophelia, because the girl on the cover looks like an Ophelia, even though this isn't how she looks in the book. The book describes her as like tall, skinny, blonde, that kind of thing, and this girl's obviously a redhead. We just call her Ophelia, so I'm referring to her as Ophelia. I like to understand the way she looks at things. She looks at the world as so pointless, and so, like, I just want to sleep through it. And I honestly didn't know how the book was going to talk about the whole drug thing, because I thought, oh, she wants to sleep for a whole year. I thought they meant, like, sleep for a whole year, never wake up. I thought it was, like, a fantasy kind of thing, where, like, bibbidi bobbidi boo, she wakes up a year later, that kind of thing. It's not. It's not that. I'm very interested how they end the book, because it's still got a couple pages, and I want to know, is she gonna, like, get better, or is she gonna do something that I actually hate, or, like, I don't know how it's gonna end. I don't know how they're gonna end this. I have literally zero idea, because when I read romances, I usually have an idea, like, oh, they're either gonna get together, or they're not, or one of them's gonna die, or something like that. But in this, I literally have no fucking idea what's gonna happen or how they're gonna end the book. Like, I have no idea what direction it's going in, and I really want to know. So I'm gonna continue reading this, and I will most likely update you once I'm done. I'm back to straight here, guys. Unfortunately, it's not that bad, is it? I did it. I finished it all the way. I'm gonna stick with my original word, confused. It was overall a very good book. Overall. Okay. There were a couple things in the book that made me question what I was reading and why the author would put that in a book, because it just seemed very out of pocket for a book. Like some of the dreams that she would have, I mentioned earlier, they're weird dreams. It fits like realistically because we have weird dreams. Like people have weird dreams, that may be that. But it just seems like a weird thing that you would put in your book. Like that's the dream that you would choose to have your character have. Do I make any sense? Like I feel like out of all the dreams you can make, you have to make her have a dream about her mother's pubic hair? Okay. Interesting style choice. But besides those minor things, where every once in a while it would say something completely and totally out of pocket, I do think it was very interesting. I did really want to see how it ended. I was very adamant on seeing how it ended, therefore I kept reading it. It's a very descriptive book, not in a bad way. It just describes people, it describes her feelings, it describes a lot in this book, and I love when a book is descriptive, because if it's not descriptive, then I'm not imagining it in my head. If I can't imagine it in my head, then there's no fun in the book. Because one thing I like about books is being able to see it happen, you know? Like, I like be able to imagine it based on the details that it gives me. Like, I can imagine her because it describes her. So I really like how it was descriptive, how I can, like, I can make an image in my head about how these people look, how they act, what the scenery looks like. I liked the writing style, actually. Like I said, there were some things that caught me off guard, confused me, but I think that's just like a genius, honestly, to put those out-of-pocket things in there, because the out-of-pocket things start pretty early on in the book, so it's either you're gonna read it and you're gonna be like, what the fuck, and keep reading it to like understand more about that and get more context, or you're gonna read it and you're gonna be like, what the fuck, and put the book down. So it's like, I think now I know what it means when everyone says you either hate it or you love it. There's no in between, because these are like, you're intrigued by the out-of-pocket things, or you are turned off by the out-of-pocket things. And I was intrigued. Therefore, I kept reading and kept reading. And overall, I would rate it a 3.5 stars out of 5. So 3.5 out of 5, which is good. I rated it because on Goodreads you can't do like 0.5 or anything. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So I put a 3 out of 5 on Goodreads, but I actually think I'm going to move it up to a 4. I'm going to round it up. So it's a 3.5, but I'm rounding it up to a 4 on Goodreads. But I did put it as 3, so I'm probably going to go back and change that to a 4 sometime today. Overall, I think it was a really good book. I want to read you some things from the book that I thought were, because I read the weird things. I want to read the like the sadder kind of things. I didn't care about the housing market or how much money I could get. I wanted to hold on to the house the way you'd hold on to a love letter. It was proof that I had not always been completely alone in this world. But I think I was alone holding on to the loss, to the emptiness of the house itself, as though to affirm that it was better to be alone than to be stuck with people who were supposed to love you, yet couldn't. It's so... I like the writing choice. Like, I like the style of the writing. Like, and then, of course, it says more out-of-pocket things on the very next page. Like, I spent a lot of time staring at her on screen and picturing her vagina. It talks about vaginas a lot in this book. Don't understand the symbolism of that. Nothing seemed really real. Sleeping, waking up, it all collided into one gray, monotone plane ride through the clouds. I didn't talk to myself in my head. There wasn't much to say. This was how I knew the sleep was having an effect. I was growing less and less attached to life. if I kept going, I thought I'd disappear completely, then reappear in some new form. This was my hope. This was the dream. So she basically, this whole book is about her wanting to just sleep through a year and recharge because she's completely out of battery for life and she just wants to not anymore, but she doesn't want to die. Like, she doesn't want to die, but she just wants to be, like, brand new. Like, she just wants to come back fully charged, happy, and ready for it. And so she thinks to do that is she needs to just sleep for a whole year and just catch up on all that. A lot of people may not. A lot of people may. Some people definitely like the book better than I do, but I liked it. Would I recommend it to anybody? It would depend on the person, honestly, because I feel like my friend would genuinely hate this book so much. She would hate this book so much just because this isn't the kind of book that she would normally read. And some of my friends would really like this book because they like looking at life from a different perspective. Actually, yeah, that. This book is great for looking at life at a different perspective. Okay, and that's what I like to do when I read books, is like, if it's not a romance, obviously, because I need something to be attached on. And so I was attached for this book is looking at how she perceived life and how it was so different from how I perceived life. Overall, it was a very good book. It was very good for looking at life in a new perspective and seeing how other people may see life. Because sometimes I'll catch myself not believing that people are real. You know, do you ever have that feeling? I think it's called like pondering or something. You're just like in a state where you can't believe that other people are also having experiences and that other people actually exist. It's just sort of like you don't feel real for a minute and you can't comprehend the fact that other people are living just like you with their own experiences and their own perspectives and their own point of views. And it's a weird thought. I like to read to understand that and comprehend it more. Because it's like, when you are you can't understand or you can't comprehend anybody actually living with their own experiences. But when you read, you are vividly going in to someone else's experience and their point of view and what they see and what they think and what they go through and how they feel. That's probably my favorite thing about reading. Because it's just like, in real life you can't do that. You can't see how other people feel or their experiences or what they're going through. And especially for this book, this was a really good book to actually understand that a little bit more than I already do. And I just think it was a really good read. And I think I definitely would recommend this to some people. But I understand why some people don't like it. But I understand how some people do. It's a very hit or miss book. And I just think it was really good. But anyways, that was all. I really liked reading this book. And I didn't think I would because it's not the kind of book that I would normally read. But I did say that I really wanted to start branching out with different genres because, honestly, I barely read anything other than romance. And that's probably not good. I think I probably need to branch out and read different genres. And so that's what this book was for, because I heard great things about it. I heard great things. And I was just like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I'll read this strange, not romance book. And I did, and I'm glad that I did. And so now I need to read more out of pocket. Not out of pocket, but different genres that I wouldn't normally read because they can be really good. But if you have any suggestions on what I should read or review or whatever with a book or challenge or something, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Just comment it or something. I say this to the 3 people. And, yeah. My My personal TikTok and Jaden's personal TikTok are in the description, along with our, like, together TikTok. What is... And my Goodreads is also in the description. And then Jaden deleted her Goodreads because she was bored. Why the fuck does she do that? She also deleted Duolingo. Like, even when I'm not doing Duolingo and I lost my streak and it's just sitting there with a 0 on it, I still keep it. Like, anyways. This is fun. This is very fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading that book. And now I have to go finish my other 2 books that I was reading, because I will cry if I don't finish them. I smell really good. Okay, bye!